Hello and welcome to the Local Leaders Podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Johnson. The Local Leaders Podcast provides a platform for successful business owners to share their stories, their experiences, their advice, and their ideas in order to help our listeners achieve more success in their business and in their lives. Get ready, another great show is coming up. Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Local Leaders Podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Johnson, and I'm super excited today. We've got two great guests on with us today. We've got Brandon and Ryan Porcasi. Welcome to the show today, guys.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Appreciate
you having us.
Hey, it's a pleasure having you on, and these are the two guys of Curbside Mexican Grill in South Hempstead, New York. We can't wait to share kind of your story with our listeners and learn more about what you guys have been up to, how you did it, kind of where you're going. That's kind of where we want to go. But to start with, I don't know which one of you wants to take it, but we'd love to just get a little background on Curbside Mexican Grill, how you got it going, what it's all about, and all that good stuff.
Right. Yeah, of course. I'll lead off. I'll pass it to you, Ryan. I'll let you get your say in as well. But basically, we started doing construction in 2019 and opened up in September of 2019. So we've been going strong for about 2.25 years almost now. Through the pandemic, we opened up 6 months prior. It's been quite an experience, and we're a fast casual Mexican restaurant for those who don't know. So it's mainly takeout, delivery. We do have a few tables to dine in, but mainly to go orders.
Very, very nicely said. And the fact that you guys, you opened in 2019, so in September, so you only had a few months in front of you before things hit the fan.
Yeah.
But how did you land on this QSR concept? Because that's what you needed for the pandemic. So was that the plan from day one?
I'm going to say a couple things, Brandon, just to answer that question of yours. Honestly, Curbside Mexican Grill, the name, we got so lucky with the name just because all of a sudden curbside pickup was a thing. We had a world pandemic that we were not expecting at all. So we played our cards right in that aspect, and we didn't even know this was going to happen, obviously. But the way we had got our name essentially was, the location of our restaurant, for those who don't know, is pretty much on a curb. The angle of the curb is bent. When you drive in front of curbside, you could see the curb is on an angle. Yeah. And you could drive up, park on an angle right in front of the store. Technically, it's curbside. That's how we got our name essentially. And it was just a few of us one day. One of our partners, his father owns the building. We figured, we just started talking about opening up a Mexican restaurant. A couple of my friends called me over and mentioned it to me. Both of them are actually our partners as well. And I was excited. I'm a risk taker. We took the jump. And then, we needed one more person involved, and, no one better than Brandon. That's the first person I thought of. I talked to Brandon about it. He was ready to go, ready to jump right on board. And, we took it from there pretty much. So.
Now, did both of you come out of food service, or did you have other careers prior to Curbside?
Brandon was I'll tell myself, and then Brandon will mention what he did. I'm in hotel management. That's how I started. I went to school for hospitality. I loved dealing with people. I got my degree in hospitality, did an internship with Disney World, gained some experience working for that company since it's, such a big Fortune 500 company. Mm-hmm. Learned a lot from them and, jumped into hotel management. Worked in the city for a few years as a front office manager at the Lotte New York Palace. I was a front office manager in Garden City at the Garden City Hotel for quite some time, for maybe about 3-4 years, in which, this whole big idea came about out of nowhere. And I had to, pick up everything and take the risk of opening up a restaurant. So.
Yeah. How about you, Brandon?
Yeah, my background is pretty lengthy in the restaurant industry as well. Ever since I'm 16, I was, delivering food, started waitering at different places. Bartending, even, I went to college for finance, so I'm a little more of the money background. But But even all through college, I was bartending weekends. Even after college, I had an office job for 1 year prior to Curbside. And even then I was bartending weekends. So I never really got out of the restaurants. But you know, our two partners as well, we have kind of a unique group of people, because our third partner, Evan, he's a restaurant guy. He's owned a few Greek restaurants on Long Island, and he's done that for 10 plus years. So he has a lot of experience in the field. He brings a lot to the table. And our fourth partner, Mike, is he's a gym owner. So he's not owning a business was nothing new to him. And he's like a marketing whiz as well. So he's most of the brains behind all of our marketing. So the four of us together, we make a unique team, and it works for us.
Hey, that's awesome. And we talk a lot about on this show for our listeners and everyone that's trying to be more successful, and hearing from people like you guys. But one of the things we hear over and over is make sure you have a good team. Whether they're partners or whether they're members of your staff or whatever. But we can't be everything.
Of course.
So figure out what you're good at, and then more importantly, figure out what you're not good at, and then make sure you get some help in those departments. And it sounds like you guys have it covered.
Of course, yeah, and we're constantly, trying to challenge each other as well, whether it's just playing devil's advocate or even genuine disagreements that might pop up. We're confident the four of us can work out a solution that, puts the business, has the business putting the best foot forward at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I like the gym ownership there, because now you got a something you can offer your staff, some reduced cost gym memberships maybe as a perk.
Very true. We have offered. Unfortunately, not many have taken up on that. As much as we'd love to see everybody getting fit and healthy,
Yeah, it's for some people and not for others. So
right.
you just never can tell. So tell me a little about. I mean, you guys are young, man. Y'all jumped into this thing, and you've been running it now for a couple of years. What were some of the tougher challenges initially? Was it getting the building ready? Was it financing? Anything that jumps out as like a major problem early on or challenge?
So the financing wasn't much of an issue, more so because we privately funded the venture. Between the four of us, we were able to put the funds together, being it was our first business and everything.
Yeah.
Construction, yes, there was a lot of difficulty. The previous location was like a deli supermarket kind of a style. So we had to do pretty much a full kitchen build out. We had to extend our exhaust fan hood, which requires a large permit process we weren't aware of in the beginning. So it was a length of time where we were ready to open. On our end, we were just waiting on work to be done on this hood. So
yeah,
that caused a lot of stress, because there was many months, just waiting to open, doing odds and ends. But people asking you everywhere you go, when you guys opening, and you don't have an answer. It's a lot of stress.
Drives you crazy. Drives you absolutely crazy.
Yeah, because
we're avoiding that issue now.
Yeah, you were. Well, you're ready to go, because you've sunk your money at this point, and
Exactly.
You're all ready to get to work and start recovering and seeing some revenue coming in. And I think the biggest lesson there is that however long you think it's going to take when it comes to retro or renovating a building, maybe double it.
Yeah, no, I mean, that wouldn't have been a bad rule of thumb, to be honest.
Yeah, it's never as simple as it seems, and there's always something that gets in the way and kind of slows you down. And sure, there were some lessons learned along the way as well, because not all of us are construction people or renovation experts.
Absolutely,
yeah. That's a tough piece. So you got going, everything started rocking and rolling, and then COVID hit. Now, luckily, you guys had built the business already as kind of a COVID-proof concept with the whole curbside piece. So was there a big impact with COVID, or were you able to kind of smoothly sail through that?
Ryan?
Sure. COVID, for us, I honestly was a blessing in disguise. I mean, COVID hit. We're predominantly Rockville Center customer base. I don't know if you know the area. Most of our customers are from Rockville Center. Our location's in South Hempstead on the border of Rockville Center. If you know Rockville Center, they have a lot of Mexican restaurants: Salsa Mexicano, Mesita, Cabo, Dirty Taco. The list goes on. There's a lot of great restaurants. a lot of them had to close down for a bit due to, in-house dining. That wasn't a thing with COVID. So a lot of the places that were more takeout were able to thrive. Luckily for us, we're more of a takeout pickup spot. It worked out perfect for us because a lot of these go-to Mexican spots now are closed. A lot of the people looking for other places to eat, they see us, hey, Curbside Mexican Grill. You know what? Let's give them a shot. They try us out. They love the food. And we just gain customers that much faster. And it helped us really, grow our business in that aspect because a lot of people who we maybe wouldn't have as clientele now were able to try our food. And now, sure enough, we have more clientele. And, it's as simple as that. And the name Curbside also helped us a lot because when you'd search on your phone for Mexican food nearby,
oh yeah,
the curbside factor would pop up on Google. It's almost putting us at the top of every single page organically. And it's all because our name has curbside in it. And, like I said, we obviously had no idea this pandemic was going to hit, but, at the end of the day, it wound up working out for us. It was a blessing in disguise, honestly.
yeah, no doubt, man. Talk about great beginnings, and
Absolutely
blessings to be able to have come up with that name that you did. The only challenge I see is, as you, and we'll talk about it in a little bit, as you start to grow, is finding, a second location, a third location, a fifth location with a curb.
Yeah, right.
That's true.
We're gonna have to stick with the name, and we're gonna have a curb, so it's gonna be,
Just to just to add on to what Ryan had said previously. So, just from an operations standpoint, I want to explain how we changed during COVID as well.
Okay. Love to.
So what we did was we switched our hours from normally we're 12 to 9. We just did dinner shifts from 3 to 9 every day. And this is something that was kind of cool. We did obviously a lot of uncertainty when COVID first hit for everybody, for our health, for our family's health, for our staff's families. So what we did, we took basically all non-essential workers in the staff. So everybody except the kitchen employees who obviously we need to help us run the show. We sent them home and we told them, if you want to work, you can, but if you don't want to, if you're nervous about what's going on, by all means, you don't have to. Your job will be here when you're ready to come back. My partner, Mike, had to close his gym, unfortunately, temporarily during COVID because of the mandates. And our partner, Evan, as well, they chose with his business partners to temporarily shut down the Greek restaurants. So this is a time that they didn't have anything else to do, really. So all 4 of us partners were in the business every single day. And it's a time that, like, looking back on it, I wouldn't trade it for the world because you're actually the 4 partners who built the restaurant working together day in and day out, every day, 3 to 9. We were busy. So spirits were high just from that, obviously. And we did this for like 6 months until things, the news, they started to find out more about COVID and staff was comfortable coming back to work in this. But yeah, that's how we changed operations. And it was just it was honestly a fun time looking back that we were able to do it together.
Yeah, that's awesome. So right now, though, those 2 guys, Mike and Evan, they are back focused on their other businesses.
Yes, thank God their businesses now are thriving still. They managed to stay open. I know so many businesses had to close after pandemic, and it's really sad to see, but knock on wood, everything's okay with them right now. So
yeah. So how do you guys split up your responsibilities between yourselves? Or one of you kind of the front of the house, one in the back, or what are y'all's lanes?
Sort of. So like I'm a little more kitchen focused than my brother is, Ryan. Well, Ryan handles more of the payroll and staffing, so he handles scheduling every week, and he does the checks every week and all of that. And I'm a little more like, I'll do the specials, I'll do the back end stuff, paying bills and whatnot. But those kind of organically just happened. It wasn't like cut and dry, like, oh, Ryan, you're going to do this, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Just like whoever picked up that responsibility, we just kept running with it for the length of time.
Excuse me.
But,
Thank you.
Also helped that Brandon's a big finance guy, so he's more of the back end guy when it comes, like he mentioned, to the money. Dealing with a lot of the back end issues. And it's better to have one person. It's better to have a dedicated job for one person, so not everyone has their hands. If everyone's putting their hands in one thing, it can get pretty confusing. If 2 people are trying to pay the bills each month, 2 people are overlooking certain things, it's better to just have one eye on it. And that's how we look at things. like Brandon mentioned, I'm handling the staffing in the front, payroll, all that stuff. And, he does a lot of the back end stuff, plus some of the stuff that I do as well. And, we kind of just complement each other at that point.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a great way to roll because, when you got partners and you guys are family too. So, you're a family business in addition.
I know some people say, don't do business with family, but, we took that risk off the bat and so far so good. It's panned out. So.
Yeah, they always say you're going to argue with family, but we come from an Italian household, so we argue anyway.
Yeah, we're used to it. We're used to dealing with it back and forth. So.
Yeah, I expect you guys can go at it pretty good. Probably scare some people.
That's the funniest part when people say, "Oh, you guys were mad back there," and if you ask me or him, that was just a normal conversation.
No, we were just talking. What are you talking
about? Yeah. We tend to raise our voice a little bit. What are you going to do?
Well, that's all you can do. But it's great that it's working out, and you guys got through the pandemic part, and have been successful so far with the business, and that's what we're all about with this show is talking to successful owners who are able to take a concept and make it work and hopefully grow it as we go forward. But before we get to that growing part, let me just ask a couple questions about. There's two topics. One, I'd love to hear your take on marketing and what you guys are doing. I'm assuming probably social media mainly focused, but I always like to talk about that, see if there's any advice you have in that department for others. And I'd love to talk a little bit about technology and kind of what you've implemented there to be able to keep things running smoothly. So which one of you wants the marketing piece?
We'll go back and forth. Yeah, I'll run through that a little bit quickly. For our marketing, it's, as far as marketing goes, we try to keep up with the technology. We see Instagram as a huge marketing piece for us, especially, our products that we sell are food. It's very, it's very pleasing to see in photos. It's, what is the word? Aesthetically pleasing.
Yes.
Our food's very colorful. We have a great Instagram manager who manages our Instagram. We draw a lot of people in through Instagram, through Facebook. We like to do everything more on the technology side versus like old school, maybe mailings to houses and all that stuff. We've done that before. We've tried that. And, it's hard to track the success coming in when you do that. But, we've done Groupon to start. That helped get our business going in the beginning. We've done, we've partnered up with different local businesses to market our business by, offering services through them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you get 10% off at Curbside, if you join with, say, Orange Theory today or something, or you get chips and guac off. Like, just giving you an example, if you join, say, let's say this local gym, we'll get, we'll get that, we'll give back, we'll give 10% off of whatever they order next, whatever the case may be. We've, we've done things like that, but more or less we've kept it, Instagram and Facebook has been our best friend when it comes to marketing. I'll leave it at that pretty much. What do you think, Brandon? What else have we done to really market Curbside as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, that's really what we do. Mostly is Instagram, but
Google too. Google helped a lot too.
Google as well. So we have a lot of different we do a couple different ideas that we came up with as a group, the four of us. So one is we have a challenge, a food challenge. And it's, people come in, they compete, and you have 30 minutes to eat a large order of French fries and a large Crunch Wrap. For me, I've never tried it. I don't think I'd be able to do it, but we've had a few winners and they get, their picture on the wall. You get your money back. You get an Instagram shout out. For us, we don't make any money on it. It's just a marketing deal. We want people to come in and try it. So something like that. We actually had a foodie from the UK come by. And his name's Beard Meets Food. He must have heard about the challenge. He absolutely decimated it. He's a competitive eater. I guess world renowned. We hadn't heard of him, but he made a YouTube video, so people could check that out on his channel. It was crazy. He did it in 10 minutes. It was, one of the craziest things I've seen.
Oh man.
Yeah. Cool. So that's a marketing thing we do. We use Square as our POS system. So they have built-in marketing service where they pull customers' information if they want to sign up. They'll get their email in there, and we send out email blasts with different unique coupons for return customers or new customers. So that's something we do as well. And otherwise, like we've done, starting in the beginning, we did a lot of the boots on the ground type stuff. Me and my brother going literally door to door in Rockville Center in South Hempstead with a menu and a coupon stapled to it, and just, giving it to anybody who wanted it. So, sometimes you got to do that. Just go back to the old school way of doing things and just get your name out there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Well, if you've got a lot of businesses around in that area too, it really helps. And, especially going old school, and everybody wants a menu. Everybody loves a coupon. So,
right. And people like to see the owners trying too. Like they're not just, making some kid go around doing it. The owners are actually doing it themselves. People like to see that kind of hustle. They respect that. So,
yeah, I think so. And well, in some cases it might be dressing up like a taco and making somebody stand outside.
We haven't done that, but my dad has offered to do it for us many times. He's a former DJ, and he used to do costume parties. And he said, if you ever rent the taco costume, he'll get in it and he'll wave outside. So,
oh, well, heck, it's great to have family involved,
yeah,
man.
he's a team player for sure.
Yeah, y'all might have to take him up on that just to throw him on Facebook Live.
We do. He'll do it.
Yeah.
He'll be ready to go, in the snap of a finger if we let him know.
Yeah.
And he'll love it. He'll love every second of it, which is the greatest thing. So
yeah,
he's definitely a team player.
Well, that's awesome. How about for I know the, online ordering and all that kind of stuff is a big piece. Are you using Square for that as well, or are you doing something different?
We do that through Square as well. So we do Square online ordering, and Brandon actually made our website, and you could also order directly through our website that puts you to Grubhub. I don't know if you're familiar with Grubhub.
Yep.
We do all those platforms as well: Grubhub, Uber Eats, DoorDash, and that really helps drive in business as well. And it's great because they have their own drivers. So even though we do have drivers as well who work every night, it's good to be able to get that extra business and not run into any issues, because again, these services provide their own drivers, which does really help our business at times as well when we're busy.
Yeah, that brings up an interesting point. I'd love to get both of your perspective on third-party delivery services, because I had somebody on a few days ago that was, really happy about the third-party delivery services, and the way they looked at it, it was really a marketing arm, and the fees that they were paying are the higher percentages that you see in the news a lot that are talked about negatively. He didn't have that negative view of it. So what's your thoughts on third-party?
That's shocking that he was happy about the
Well, maybe happy wasn't the right word, but at least
he was spinning it, I guess.
Yeah, the way he spun it in his brain, it was more of a marketing expense than anything.
Yeah, I look at it as sort of a necessary evil, because that's just how people order food nowadays. They don't want to call. They'd rather order off their app on their phone. Like even myself, sometimes when I'm home and hungry and I'm not sure what I want to eat, I'll open up Seamless and I'll just start thumbing through whatever catches my eye. So we got to be on there just to stay competitive. As much as I would love to get rid of it and have everybody just order from us, we would lose business, and that's a fact. So we're not ready to give up that business for sure. So it's a necessary evil, I think.
Also, another thing I'd like to point out when it comes to the online services, like Grubhub, Uber Eats, a lot of times, obviously for a business owner who's using that service, it's going to be a 15 to 20% service charge that we have to cover. Right. So the biggest thing to me, a lot of times businesses actually up their prices on these platforms, which is what most businesses do, because again, that 15 to 20% margin you're paying Uber Eats or Grubhub, you don't want to lose that completely. So you want to get some of that back, which means upping your price on these platforms. And the crazy part is, people will still continue to order Grubhub at the same time while realizing they're spending 15 to 20% more on an item that they can just directly call us and save 15 to 20%, which is why, a lot of times we tell people too, after they order through Uber Eats, Grubhub, if we're able to get on the phone with them, if our delivery, or, however we can get in front of them, because sometimes we have to call them, sometimes it's a Grubhub or Uber Eats pickup, whatever the case may be, when they're directly coming in the store, we let them know, hey, call us directly next time, save 10%. And, we'll give them like a coupon, let them know to call us directly, but also, let them know they'll save 15 to 20% if they call directly.
Yeah.
and you know, try to almost explain to them that, you know, when you're ordering through these services, you know, you're paying a premium. And yeah, it's cool to the convenience factor and picking the phone up. I'm sorry, picking your iPhone up, typing in an order, whatever it may be, and sending it through, and not having to speak with someone on the phone is cool. To me, I just feel like, you know, why would you want to spend 15 to 20% more on an order that could be $60, $70? Now you're spending an extra $10, $15 that you could have saved. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, it's the technology way we're going though, and people don't care. Doesn't affect our business. So, you know, I look at it as, like Brandon said, a necessity at this point for us.
Yeah, and it is for so many businesses. And heck, you're right. I mean, you're in New York, so you know you're not like in a rural area, and it's third party delivery is you know huge out there. And yeah, I understand it. Is like I said, most people don't really enjoy that fee piece and kind of look at it as a necessary evil. And sounds like you guys are in that same boat. And hopefully, maybe with this podcast, we'll reach a few more people in the area that'll realize, hey, we can do better just by calling ordering directly from Curbside Mexican Grill.
And you could save too, which is crazy. You save 15%, 20%. Why would you not want to call it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, for those who are listening to us and not watching the video, let me just call it out because I forgot to do it earlier. Website for Curbside Mexican Grill is www.curbsidemexicangrill.com. Pretty simple, great website. I love what you've done with it. Looks really good. Great pictures. You know, and you're right. I mean, today people are using their phones to order, to you know, they want that convenience, and you just kind of got to have the technology to be able to keep up with it. It looks like you guys have all that covered as well. So congratulations on all that you've been able to accomplish so far.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it.
It's you know, it's something to see businesses thriving and to be able to find success in tougher times. And hey, have y'all thought about, I'm just curious because a couple episodes back I was talking with somebody about ghost kitchen or online concepts and things like that. Do y'all have capacity in your kitchens to do something like that, or have you given it any thought?
Yeah, so we actually we run two different businesses out of our kitchen. We tried doing a third ghost kitchen style, but we still have it technically, but we kind of stopped advertising for it. So the one that we have stopped advertising was called Nada's Empanadas, and it was just on Grubhub. It was only our empanadas, because as a Mexican grill, we have I think 10 or 11 different kinds of empanadas right now. And we think that's one of our stronger items. So we wanted to market it specifically to people who love empanadas. So we tried to do that. It was going okay for a while, but you know, just how things are, we got busy with other things and couldn't keep up with the marketing side of it. So it's still on there. If you looked up on Grubhub, Nada's, we're still up there. We still sell every now and then, but that was our attempt at a ghost kitchen. Maybe one day we'll revisit it. We also have a company called New You Eats. So what that is it's a healthy meal prep company. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with the meal prep companies, but essentially you order for the week ahead, and you might get 7 meals, 1 for each day, 14, 2 for a day, or 21, 3 for a day, something like that. That goes hand in hand with my business partner's gym. You know, a lot of his clients at the gym, they want to eat healthy, they want to get into shape. So on our end, every Sunday morning we come in early and we cook all these healthy meals fresh before Curbside's open. We use the kitchen for that. We package them and bag them up to order, and then customers either pick them up on Sunday at any time during the day, or we send them out for deliveries. We partner with Postmates who takes the deliveries to the houses. So those are two different uses for the space. You know, we try nowadays. I think it's so common that people do these ghost kitchens because you're paying you have one overhead. It's the same overhead. So if you're using the kitchen for more hours than you were, you know, it's just going to be a net positive. Yeah,
well, I like the concept, the New You Eats, and how does somebody find you there? Have you got a website for it as well, or?
Yes, yeah, same thing. It's just the letter U Eats, EATS.com. Also on Instagram as well. That's our main source of marketing for that. It's a local only business. We don't ship like, we don't ship anything. It's just local delivery. But yeah, it's good if you're trying to lose a few pounds and do portion control. We got like 15 different meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So.
And that's awesome. I would love to have more of those types of options in the restaurants around me. I'm in a little more rural area. I'm outside the city. We don't see a lot of that around me because I don't want to cook. I don't want to go home and have to do it. And being able to purchase bulk meals or actual full meals would be awesome. So
yeah,
I
it's
love
way
that.
cheaper than going out to eat nowadays. Like, I think one of our steak meals is like $7.99 or $8.99. Where if you're gonna go get a steak plate anywhere else, for dinner, it's gonna be $15 plus. So
Yeah, no,
try to be economical.
Are you guys tracking that revenue and costs and stuff associated with that business separately, or is it all kind of rolling into Curbside?
We're tracking it separately on spreadsheets. Like on paper, it's all one business. It's all under one corporation. But we do track it. Obviously, it's a business with naturally good margins because we don't have a shared Curbside pays the overhead.
Yeah.
So it's got good margins just naturally. Really, our only cost is staffing and food cost for that.
Yeah, you're able to boost your overall margins and for the business. So I mean that's awesome. It's creatively utilizing the resources that you've got and providing some healthy choices for those in your area. So again, I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's something that we need to focus a little more on, just because, like I said, with the other business, things get busy and you forget to the little tender love and care you need for these other businesses.
Yeah, you got to keep them out in front of people and try to find a way to divide and conquer and save some time in your day to be able to focus on everything that's important. But hell, when you're running a restaurant, everything's important.
Yeah.
Sometimes prioritizing becomes a challenge. And but man, it sounds like you guys have your hands full. Y'all running 7 days a week, or do you have a little downtime at all?
Just to so how pretty much we're running 7 days a week. As far as our schedules go, we're open 7 days a week. Brandon's there a little more than I am. I also do real estate on the side. I'm pretty much, I do real estate and curbside. I'm the most full-time, part-time guy you'll ever meet when it comes to both curbside and real estate. That's just how I am. I'm usually at curbside about 4 days a week, where Brandon probably about 5 or 6 days a week.
Yeah,
and we're happy that we've been able to dial back since we built this to sort of sustain itself. That's been the goal ever since day one, is for us to not be in here 24/7. We did both go to college. Like, the goal wasn't to just work in a mom and pop type restaurant for forever. We want to open multiple locations. So, and again, nothing wrong with working in a mom and pop restaurant forever. That's some people's dreams, and more power to them for sure. The restaurant business is certainly gratifying. Like, I do love what I do. I love seeing people enjoy their meal, leaving full and happy. It's a rewarding feeling for that. But yeah, thankfully we've been able to scale it back, and we're starting to build this thing to sustain itself without us being in there 24/7.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I wanted to ask about that because I just looked down, at the clock, and it's time slipping away.
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear a little more about kind of what you're thinking about doing, what you want to do, and you mentioned opening additional locations. So anything you want to share with us there?
Well, there's nothing official yet, but we are discussing with a second location currently. Ideally, if everything goes right, we could be open, around summertime this year. But like I said, nothing's on paper yet, so I don't want to make any official announcements. But we have been looking to open a second one, and if that goes well, then third and fourth could be on the way in the years to come as well. We knock on wood. I don't want to jinx anything, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're exactly right. And, you gone to school, you gotten your education, you've been working hard. Nobody wants to kill themselves all their life to have nothing. So, the best way up is to try to continue to grow our businesses and expand ourselves. And doing that, you're also creating an opportunity for your people, your employees, which really helps and we didn't even talk about staffing and all that stuff, but really helps, for recruiting and things like that when you have some upward mobility based on your scale. So, that should help in those regards. And, taking it to that next level is kind of where all of us hope to get to. So, I'm glad you're to the point to where you're looking at options and thinking about doing it and growing it out. And, once you get a couple going, then do you have longer term plans of like maybe franchising or just having a boatload of corporate stores?
Right. You want to tackle that one?
Say that again. I'm sorry. I missed that one, Jeff.
Yeah, that's okay. I was just wondering if you're thinking about maybe long term having a large number of like corporate owned stores, or maybe even considering franchising down the road.
I mean, listen, franchising is always the end goal. That's the ultimate goal. Right now we're just taking it one step at a time. With the curbside we have right now, as Brandon mentioned, that's been doing great. We are in the works of getting something sorted out where we may have a second location. Nothing's finalized yet, so we don't want to say anything about that, but that could be on the way. But as back to your question, we're definitely thinking about, franchising, and ultimately we're looking for like 5 or 6 stores to, that's kind of where we want to get to. And if we can get to more than that, great. But ultimately, if we could have at least 5 stores, 5, 6 stores, even 4 stores, one for each of us, the goal is to grow. And as we implement our business into each and every store, it's going to get easier to continue to open up these businesses. So I know I said a number, 5 or 6 stores, but hey, who knows? The sky's the limit. Once you could implement your system and get that on paper, it's that much easier to continue to open up and run these types of businesses. It's all about having your blueprint.
Yeah.
The first store is the hardest store because you don't have a blueprint. Yeah. Now that we have somewhat of a blueprint, this second store we're going to open up is going to be a test, because we're going to put that blueprint to the test in a new location. As long as that works out, there you go. We have a set blueprint, and we're just going to continue to try to, open up and open up and open up and, see what we can do. So yeah, it's exciting, but at the same time, it could be a little scary,
Well, I love what you said about, having that blueprint. I've been tossing around that word a little bit myself here lately. And, that's one of the bigger challenges for where you are today, you're a single unit operator. You got to get all that documentation, all that blueprint in place. So are you halfway through it, on the way through it? Have you gotten all the way through that yet? Operations manuals, training manuals, all that stuff?
We have our systems. I'll say that, certain things we still have to get on paper. I mean, we have our systems, it's in the back of our head like that. We know what needs to get done. Our employees know what needs to get done and how to get it done. Yeah. But getting everything on paper, we're still in the process of doing that now.
Yeah, so, I started creating an employee handbook about a year ago, but at that point we knew like the second location was a little further off, so I kind of put it on the back burner. But I should definitely revisit it now. I was doing like a whole step-by-step how to do everything in the point of sale system, and we were going to cover basically all the managerial responsibilities, the counter, all the different positional responsibilities. So that's definitely something we got to get back to.
Yeah, and that'll basically employee manual, or kind of morphs into an operations manual, and that's a big step, but it's a lot of work. And I encourage you to keep on it, because that second location will be on you before you know it, and you'll be like, we need it. Where's it at?
Not true. You're right.
Yeah. So stay on it, brothers. You guys are doing awesome. I want to take a minute to just say thank you for you both being on, and for our listeners again who maybe missed it earlier. This is Brandon and Ryan Porcasi. You can call him Porcasi, whatever you want to call him. Just call them and place an order.
There you go.
That's it.
That's right. Over in South Hempstead, New York. If you're in that area and you haven't had the pleasure of eating at Curbside Mexican Grill, make sure that you make a stop, place your order online, call it in, do whatever you got to do, but make sure you enjoy some of their food and give them a shot. You guys are awesome. And any final words or thoughts or anything that you wanted to share that I have neglected to ask you about?
Nothing you've neglected, Jeff. Everything's been great. I'm just going to go ahead and say, I'm sure my brother will agree. anybody who's heard the podcast, any of the listeners here, you want to give us a call, let us know. We'll give you 15% off your order, just as a way of saying thanks.
Oh man, that's awesome. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yeah, we definitely love it. We love all our listeners, and we hope that the folks that we pick up, there in your area will check out some of our other podcasts and listen to some of our other restaurant tours. We've had several up in your area. Is Bear Burger near you guys? You guys have Bear Burger?
It's about 10 minutes away, Bear Burger. It's more in the heart of Rockville Center.
Yeah, EP, the founder there, we had the pleasure of having him on early on in this podcast, and they built a hell of a business. Might be a good model for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, they've been great. I like Bear Burger. The food's great, and they were able to franchise pretty quickly. So
yeah, and they've grown that thing into, I don't know, about a $100 million operation right now. So there's your goal, brothers.
There you go.
Absolutely.
There it is. Maybe I can connect you guys with EP and y'all can have a conversation at some point.
Definitely
that'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Appreciate your time, Jeff. Appreciate you having myself and Brandon on the podcast as well.
Hey man,
Thank you.
It's been our pleasure, my pleasure to have you on. Thanks for joining us today. And I'm going to sign us off and just remind all our listeners that we've got lots of episodes on the Local Leaders podcast, but this has been Curbside Mexican Grill. Thank you for joining us and listening in, and we look forward to talking to you guys again. So thank you, and we look forward to seeing our listeners again on our next show. Thank you very much.